Hey everyone, welcome to this week's update video. And in this one, I'm going to combine this with the dev talk or the developer notes that came out a few days ago. So yeah, I just want to go through both of them. So let's first talk about the dev notes, right? Um, so first off, we're going to get a stamina pack. So similar to the current crystal pack, this one is instead for stamina. Every day you'll get 400 stamina, and that's for 30 days. And then you also get you also get prime crystals, right, as a instant reward. I believe the crystal pack also gives you the prime crystals as well. And in addition, every day you'll slowly obtain crystals. So these two are going to be like the your monthly packs, right? Or I guess you could call it a daily pack, but however you want to call it, they're basically very value payments, right? That you can make each month, and combine that with the battle pass each month. These are like the most efficient usage of your money if you want to spend. If you don't want to spend, that's entirely your choice. But for those who don't mind spending a little bit here, light spenders basically, right? This is the one of the packs that you probably would like to get. Um, and to put into perspective, 100 stamina costs 30 crystals per day if you're only doing the first 3 refreshes. So getting 400 stamina is quite a pretty sizable amount. And this also doesn't take away from the stamina that you can just recharge with crystals per day if you want to. So in total, you can get like 700 stamina off like this daily plus those crystals if you want to refresh 90 crystals a day, which is a pretty efficient way to use your resources. And if you're still catching up on farming cores and whatnot, that's a pretty good way to have the stamina to do that. And of course, this will still apply to days where you're got the double resource event as well. So having the whole week of getting extra 400 stamina for free, or not for free, but as part of this package, that's a significant amount of extra stamina that you can farm with, right? I'm unsure if this stacks while you're capped. That would be something interesting to see as well, because theoretically you could just save up like a bunch of stamina prior to double resource starting out, and then just consume it all during that period. I'm not sure how efficient it is, because you technically do lose out on your daily recharging stamina. But it might be worth it. 400 stamina is a pretty significant amount, and if you're only doing it maybe in the last the couple of days leading up to the double resource event starting, then that might be a pretty good way to go about it. I do that in another game that I play. Not necessarily with like a stamina package, but we have ways to stack up stamina before a double resource event, and then in that, at least in that game, it outweighs losing the your daily stamina recharge. Unsure about this game, but yeah, you have a couple of ways to choose how you spend your stamina. And then there's also going to be a rerun for the limited skins. So if you missed out on them, you can get them here. I'm unsure exactly how this is going to work, because it says for when you purchase it, you'll get a random skin you don't own. So I don't know if this is you have to buy the box with real money, or whether you exchange your prime crystals for the box. So it's typically skins usually just cost the prime crystals, which comes from spending. But this sounds like it could be like a direct purchase. But we'll have to see when that gets released in a couple of weeks. So this will be on Christmas Eve, and yeah, there'll be another chance for you to get limited skins if you missed out on any. Now, I personally don't really like this, because I don't like RNG for spending, basically, right? I hope they do change it, but I kind of doubt they will. So yeah, but if you like collecting skins, then this will be the event for you. It will last for 3 weeks as well, so that's a pretty long time. And also, there's going to be some Christmas skin discounts as well coming up. And they also mentioned that it's going to be an upcoming skin gallery. They haven't. They mentioned that in the previous dev talk, but we don't know exactly when that's coming out. Hopefully, that will be coming out by the end of the year, but we might have to wait until early next year. But that was mentioned already, so hopefully they're still working on it to get it out as soon as possible. Then there's also going to be a change with the Battle Pass skin selection box. Oh, sorry, the Battle Pass skin, right? So instead of getting like a new skin every month, we're going to get this selection box which allows you to pick previous ones. I'm hoping that they'll still add the new one in this box each month, so that people who have already gotten everything before, they can still use this box for something. But if there's a skin that you really want from the past, and you don't really care for the current skin that much, then you can just use this box to get the skin that you want. And it gives you a bit of flexibility, right? Which is not a bad thing. So that is also coming up. There's going to be a gallery for the EX skill animations. So if you're like me and you turn off skill animations, then this is the way you can watch those skill animations without it impeding on your gameplay, right? Because I don't like having the skill animations because they kind of like take up time, which I don't really want to like waste time watching the same EX skills over and over. But if you just want to watch it once, then you can go through the gallery and select the characters you want to watch, and you can do that there. Then the final change, which I think is probably the best one out of all of these, is there's finally going to be a skip button for summons, and I hope this also applies to the gear pools as well. But at least for the unit summoning, you can skip the animation. This whole animation takes such a long time. I've come to really hate it, and I'm really glad that they're finally going to allow you to skip through this, because it's such a pain, especially for when you want to mass summon for something like a transcendent unit. You have to watch this over and over. Each animation takes I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds of just waiting for it to open up. And it's just very unnecessary. So I just hope that I hope that this is coming out very soon. But that is the stuff that's coming out based off the dev talk. So let's now go over this week's update stuff. Alright, so this week we have a new unit, which is Kraz. She's not limited, right? And therefore you will be able to get her in the custom banner if you want to, but you can also get her here. It's a little bit easier to get her here if you want to use her. So let's go over her skill kit. Now she's a guard unit, and she's both an armor and evasion unit, which is quite strong because I guess technically would need to have fixed damage if you need to go through both layers of damage reduction. Because just having armor ignore is not going to necessarily allow you to kill her, because she'll still also have max dodge damage reduction. As long as she's R10 and all conditions have been met. But similar thing, vice versa, if you have an anti-dodge unit like Valentine Charlissa, then she's going to get blocked by Kraz having max armor as well. So she's a pretty powerful defensive unit, I would say, from just that alone. But in addition to having two damage reduction types, she also reduces the attack of the attackers when they attack her, and that is by 100%. Now, I'm not sure if this means that they just lose all of their attack and just go down straight to 0, or if it's something like an additive or a subtracting kind of thing. So I'll have to test that out and see how much attack they actually do lose. If they do lose all of their attack, that is a very significant amount of damage reduction layers that she has. Not only does she have this weakening debuff, but she also has max armor and also potentially max evasion at the same time. Then while she's getting attacked, she also does a bit of Thorns type damage. If you play ARPGs who have that sort of mechanic, where when you get attacked, you do a small amount of damage back to the opponent. That's basically what this is. It scales off her mobility and multiplied by 1,000. So at most she does 1,000 per Thorns attack, which is not a lot, but it does add up if she's just sitting there tanking them while they have no attack, or they have no ignore for either of her damage reduction types. that you could just sit there and slowly kill them off with a counterattack, right? So that's really good in stalled out battles as well. She's going to be like one of the last units standing, and they're basically forced to attack her. Then she'll just slowly kill them off. Then there's also an auto taunt. Now, she does need to be skilled up to get the auto taunt. She doesn't get it just naturally, but she does naturally have a activated taunt. So when she attacks, she does have a taunt that way. But once you skill her up, I believe to rank 7, that's once she gains the auto taunt. So another additional auto taunt option. And of course, this is like the armor portion of her kit because she's a armor-based tank. So she gains 40% with max skill, and this will last for the whole round because it's 18 turns. And then she also has a mobility boost, and this is activated when she self-cleanses, right? And the self-cleanse comes off her EX ability. So her EX is when she has 4 guard units on her side of the field, she will dispel debuffs of herself, and then she'll gain shield based off her max HP. 150% of her max HP. That's a pretty significant amount, actually, as a self shield for 18 turns. Then she also will buff this as well. With this dodge damage reduction, because the base amount is 35%, she actually gets 100% in total because it adds on to that. And then she has a base amount of 15% mobility, so add an extra 85. She'll have maximum mobility and damage reduction just from this skill. Although this is at the max rank, so if you don't have a max rank, then it'll be a weaker version of this, and she won't have maximum of mobility, right? So she's a very high investment unit, but I think she seems really good to me for any guard teams, and yeah, she may even be a core unit now alongside Mo and Hlokk for the guard team. Now let's go over her skill ups and some of her stats, or at least the important ones, right? So first off, her armor natural is 15% plus 5 from affinity, making a total of 20%. So add the 40% armor from her skill at max rank, that is 60% armor. So reaching 100%, you just need 2 armor cores, or basically 2 full armor cores, or you run Mo plus probably a composite armor core, I believe, is all you need. But you may need a little bit more because of Shushu's. But I'm unsure whether the EX skill cleanses off the armor debuff that Shushu applies. If it does, then you may not need to overcap her armor, but that's something I would need to test out. Then also, as I mentioned, she has 50% base mobility, so adding on that 85%, it gives her 100% from her skills alone, and therefore you would not bother running mobility cores on her. So it's either armor or health, right? Or probably composite armor and health, because you probably do still need a little bit of armor to cap her out, because her resonance gear doesn't give her any armor, it's just health and attack for no particular reason. I don't think any of her skills really scale off that. So a bit of a weird choice to give her an attack resonance gear, but it is what it is. Now for her skill ups, she gets the highest mobility buff at rank 10. So as I said, very heavy investment unit. Ideally, if you want to use her, you probably want to get her to rank 10. But we can look at some of the other breakpoints, right? So at rank 9, she gets the maximum armor buff. So if you only really care about making her an armor tank, then you could just get her to rank 9. But I guess at that point, you may as well get to rank 10 anyway. But rank 9 gives her the highest armor buff. Rank 8 gives her the highest attack reduction, or the weakening debuff. And also, I think this also scales up to 1,000 for the highest skill, and it should be a bit lower for the other ones. And then rank 7 is when she gains the auto taunt, as I mentioned earlier. So that is her kit. High investment unit, but very powerful in my opinion. And yeah, but that remains to be tested. And she is not a limited unit, so up to you if you want to get her. Of course, she's basically for Hlokk teams. If you're not running, Hlokk is your main team, then you don't necessarily need her, but you can always decide later, since you can just get her in the custom beta in the future. Now, additionally, we got the Joint Crusade this week, so I'll try to get a budget team out as soon as possible, and then I'll work on the high damage team later on. Unfortunately, I am a little bit busy this week, so I think this might come out. Oh, the final damage team might come out very late. So I apologize in advance if that is the case, because just this weekend I have a lot of things going on. Like I got stuff for another game, and also got family stuff this week. So yeah, I may not have that much time, but I will try to get the budget team out within the next day. Hopefully, even maybe today later on, so that people can start getting their hell clears. Hopefully the hell clears. I don't know how difficult this one is. It looks like an armor boss, similar to how last time was an armor boss as well. So yeah, I'll work on that when I can, and I'll get back to you for that. Alright, so that is it for this week. A bit of a long video because I'm covering both the update and also the dev notes, but I hope that is insightful. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon for the Crusade raid video. Bye bye.